You also talk about how, I mean, you refer to to the girl as the Gazwa victim. Perhaps you would like to talk a little bit about that because it is interesting that in this case, the media and everyone else went all out in naming the victim, which is not allowed, especially if it's a minor, right? So, would you like to talk about that, Madhuji, how the identity of the victim was?
That's another thing. As you probably seen, my book begins with an appeal to the Supreme Court, saying you have this law that you can't name or show the pictures or the face,
Yes.
identify the face of the victim of rape, even if she's dead. How is it that Mehbooba Mufti herself names her openly? Then all these worthy journalists, celebrities of Lutyens media, Barkhadat, Nidhi Razdan, Arti Tikku, so many of them, Shekhar Gupta.
Auntie Tiku also.
Yes, I've quoted her tweets. In fact, she is the first one to fire the shots at the behest of Mehbooba Mufti. I was shocked
That's
that
shocking.
it should come from a Kashmiri
Yes,
Hindu
Pandit. Yeah.
Pandit. But, well, um, all these people display photographs. You see thousands of pictures on social media with demonstrations showing her face,
Placard.
no
Yeah.
covered placard, her name very visible, and they all. And it's interesting. It can't be that they didn't know because Barkha, when she wrote an article for the Washington Post, she doesn't name her. She just describes the case. But in all her tweets of the same time, she's naming her, she's showing her face. How did they get away with it? That means it was deliberate. They wanted this face to be recognizable
Public memory.
and and because it's those eyes are very haunting and that innocent face is very appealing. Think of another face of a rape victim that you would recognize in the last 20 years.
No,
No.
I don't know any. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's not allowed.
it's not allowed.
And yet they got away with it and they did it systematically.
You
They
also
did it.
mentioned that, like, for example, contrasting it with the Nirbhaya case, for example, which was also very heinous and, horrible crime. You contrast it and you say that in Nirbhaya, they were very meticulous about concealing the victim's identity, who was a Hindu girl. And also conscientious about concealing the identity of one of uh, the juvenile.
Most brutal rapist who is a Muslim.
Yes.
Not only they conceal it, not only do they conceal it, you see, here in this case also, there are two teenagers, and interestingly, in both cases, the court says no, they are adults. There's school certificate, there's birth certificate, there's everything. No, 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 bone ossification test karenge. And that is certainly not as reliable as your school certificate, as your birth certificate. They don't take that into account. In the other case, so here they insist on treating these teenagers who are maybe 8 months short of 18 or whatever as adults, which means they become entitled to life imprisonment or even death by hanging.
Mm.
Because a juvenile, which is underage, under 18, will get at the most 2 or 3 years in a
Right.
correction home, then they come back, which is what they did with that most brutal Muslim juvenile or under 18. He was just 3 months short of 18, by the way. They made sure his identity is protected. They made sure, even though Subramaniam Swamy had filed a petition in the court saying, by all accounts, he's become a hardened jihadi while staying in that correction home, so it would be dangerous to let go of him. But nobody listened. Not only was he released within 2 3 years, but also given a rehabilitation package.
Yeah,
Uh,
I read that you mentioned that somewhere in South India. I mean, it
yes,
gives me
and
the
then he was
creeps
whisked
to
away to
think
Kerala.
Kerala.
Yes, he was whisked away to Kerala, I believe, which is where they need all these hardened killers,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. He was the one who had shoved iron rods into the vagina of Nirbhaya, and that is what led to her
The death,
bleeding death and multiple organ failure.
organ failure.
Had that not happened, had she only been gang raped, she could easily have survived,
Survived.
you know. But no, he shoved rods into her vagina, and yet he was so well protected by the entire judicial system, by the police, by the community, and by our very large-hearted uh,
Do
liberal
do
media.
do-gooders. They're good Samaritans.
Literally, I wish they were do-gooders, because do-gooders don't look at the religious or the caste identity of
Ah,
a person before doing good. They're supposed to be uniformly good.
yeah.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.